guy was the highest paid player ever in the Canadian Football League, and his story is crazy. This is Raghib Rocket Ismail, and he was sort of like DeAnthony Thomas or Devin Hester back in the late 80s, early 90s at Notre Dame, because every time he touched the ball, something crazy was going to happen. I mean, he finished second behind Ty Detmer in the 1990 Heisman Trophy voting and was considered a lock to be the #1 overall NFL draft pick. People, he ran track at Notre Dame as well. He ran a 10.2 in the 100-meter. You guys remember Marquise Goodwin out of Texas, how fast he was? He also ran a 10.2. But instead of partaking in the NFL draft, where he was most likely going to go #1 overall, he said no thanks and signed to a CFL team. That team was the Toronto Argonauts. Now, I should clarify that the Argonauts had just come under new ownership. A guy named Bruce McNow, John Candy, and some guy named Wayne Gretzky. And that trio said, we'd like to sign you for 4 years, $18.2 million. And Rocket said, yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. Putting this into perspective, back then, the highest paid player in the NFL at the time was Joe Montana, making about $3.25 million a year. Versus Rocket in the CFL, well, he was making over $4.5 million a year. Now, he had a pretty solid rookie year. He caught 64 passes for 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns and ran for 271 yards and 3 touchdowns, leading the Argonauts to the Grey Cup, which is the CFL's Super Bowl. And they would end up winning that, and he would win the game's most valuable player. But in year 2, the team went 6-12 and was coming under some financial issues. So Rocket said, I will be departing now, this time to the NFL, where he signed a 2-year, $3 million deal with the Raiders. Along with the Raiders, he also played with the Panthers and lastly the Cowboys up until 2001, but he will always be the highest paid player ever in Canadian football history, at least for right now.